Evening, everybody. How are we? Welcome back. It feels like a long while, to be honest, since we've last spoken. It's been a week, hasn't it, really? It's been a week. So we had a busy week last week with real gigs, comedy gigs happened last week. And then COVID happened this week. And FM playoffs. Welcome, Road to Legends. How are you? Welcome in. Nice to see you all. Hope you're all well. Hope last night went good for you. As I say, last week, but a bit of a washout this week. We had COVID on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Of course, as today we have a slight positive on there. Hopefully we'll test negative tomorrow. That's what we're hoping for. What we're hoping for is some success with York City, because of course we've changed. We're no longer Brackley Town anymore. Darlow, man, we've played Darlow. We've beaten Darlow again. We're now York City. We're on the march. That's right, here we are. This is us at the York Community Stadium, currently sat 4th in the Vanarama National League North, 8 games into season 5 of the Save. And to be fair, we're looking pretty decent. I know we've lost 2 games, we won 5. That's the most important thing. Evening, Geezer Dre. How are you, buddy? Lovely to see you. Hope life's treating you good, my man. This is where we're currently looking. So Nuneaton Borough, let's ignore the Nuneaton Borough game because we rotated the squad heavily and lost quite badly, to be honest. But everything else looks pretty fine once we fixed that opening defeat against Hereford. Really embarrassing 3-0 defeat. But we went and we hit a bit of a run. There you go. There's your Darlow result. Darlow, man, 2-1 away from home as well. So in your backyard we won there. We beat Brackley 3-0. And look at that. Look who scored the goals. Bradley Rolt. All 3 goals against Brackley because we brought him to the York Community Stadium. And he's still getting goals. He's still getting goals. So we talk about stories. We talk about narrative. That is a little bit of narrative right there. Bradley Rolt opening his account for York against Brackley Town. And we currently tonight have matches up against Evesham, Lowestoft, Redditch in the second qualifying round of the FA Cup, Boston United, Alfreton, Merthyr, Farsley, Warrington. You know, quite a few things, to be honest, going on tonight. Geezer, I've been okay. I remember a message you put in the minute silence for Miller. Yes, I do remember when you did that, man. Like I say, apologies for sorry for your loss, and hope life's being a bit better for you recently. I know obviously it's a difficult time, so hopefully things have at least improved, or at least settled down a little bit for you and the family. So yeah, obviously sending love your way. Dan FM, Lowestoft, hometown. Okay, nice. So there you go. Then hopefully we'll get a result there for you, Dan. Actually, I hate to say it, I hope we win. We need the wins. But yeah, it's going to be one of those. So yeah, what's happened then? What's happened in the last week since we last chatted? Tell me what's gone down. Obviously, let's say Roads to Legends, they're in there. They had a draft tournament last night. Talk to me about that. What happened? I've not seen it yet. I know you've sent me the link to have a watch, so I will have a watch of that. But yeah, give me a brief rundown of. Don't tell me the results, but tell me who was in. Tell me what went well. I think Dave Goodger was in, if I remember correctly. I'm sure Goodger said he was going to be doing RTL relatively soon, so I think that might have been it. And what's the audio levels like as well, by the minute? Because I'm aware I'm probably a little bit quieter on the mic tonight. Again, slightly post-COVID, still a bit gravelly. You know, that's it's sort of where we are at the minute. Fraser reluctantly returned after he decided to opt for Sunderland over Argyle this season. Hey, I didn't say it was over Argyle, did I? I love what you guys are doing with the new fan initiative. I think it's fantastic, to be honest. So I've not said that. I've not taken Sunderland completely. Sunderland is the easiest option for me. To be honest, I'm probably going to go more York this season, and if I can get some non-league stuff, some proper non-league stuff in, then I'll do that as well this year, to be honest. So there is already a plan for regular viewers of the stream will know JM Thoughts. He's just moved to York. FM Trek lives in York as well. Stinger lives in Harrogate, so we've all agreed to go and watch a York City game about October, I think. So that's something that we're going to look at. So that'll be quite cool. Nice to have a little day out, go and do some FM meetups in real life. Speaking about FM meetups in real life, let me talk to you very briefly about FMT Live, right? Because that is a thing. Geezer Drain with the Prime. Yes, my man. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, buddy. Very kind, very kind. I should say as well, by the way, if anybody does have Amazon Prime, bear in mind you do get a free sub. Okay, so all you do is you link your Amazon Prime to Twitch. Gotta do it on a computer, can't do it on mobile. Amazon Prime is going up. So if you do this now, do this now and get as much for your money as you possibly can, because as I say, if you start to reconsider your Amazon Prime going forward, then that's completely understandable. But as I say, use Bezos books early doors while you can, and then obviously have a look at the cost of Amazon Prime going forward. So we're away to Evesham. We're wearing our lovely purple kit, Evesham in red. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're saying about conversations in real life with FM at its base. We're doing a live podcast. Doing a live podcast for Football Manager Therapy, and it's selling pretty well, to be honest. If I'm being quite truthful to you all, this is it. Bradders with the goal. There you go. We start to mention a Football Manager Therapy live show, and who else but Bradders gets himself on the score sheet. Get in. What a start to the season. Look at that. Rich Owen, 16 months. My word. That's like, I don't even know what 16 months is. That's like almost two pregnancies. It's some marriages. But yeah, 16 months sub. Rich, appreciate that. Very, very kind indeed. I love you, man. Big shout out, of course, for Rich Owens. If you don't follow Rich, why not? Why do you not follow Rich Owens? Mate, give the man a follow. You know, he's my partner in crime on FMT. And yes, we are there. So that's the link there. Live Football Manager Therapy Podcast, Nottingham. It's part of the Nottingham Comedy Festival. November the 7th, we take over the Canal House in Nottingham. And that is basically the start of the evening. There's then going to be, we're going to take over the entire pub, to be honest, because the shows are going to be upstairs. But downstairs is a cracking boozer. We've got some fantastic ales. Lovely coffee as well, by the way, for the non-drinkers. So we're going to do that. And there's quite a lot of FMers are busy turning up for this. So we're going to have a great time. The Mad Scientist, this is no word of a lie, the Mad Scientist is flying in from Denmark. He is flying in from Denmark for the show. He's tweeted us his confirmation of his ticket purchase. The mad fucker. Mad is in his name. He has booked a fucking plane to come to this live show. That is how good this show is going to be, okay? RDF is coming. I feel like I'm sort of advertising the audience, never mind the actual show here. I'd say, you could sit next to RDF Tactics. You could sit next to Mozza Plays, I believe, is coming. Dave Gudger lives close by. He's on the way over. So, yeah, we've got loads of people. Loads of people are tweeting us their ticket confirmation, which is fantastic to see. We're genuinely so made up about it. It really is a massive thing for myself and Rich. They are a couple of things that are going to be happening. We're not going to tell you what's going to happen because there's going to be one or two surprises, let's say. That's all I'm going to say. There's going to be one or two surprises, and you're going to want to be there for it. You know, that's the thing. So if you are available and you are in and around the Nottingham area, or can get to Nottingham for Monday, the 7th of November, then it's definitely worth a fiver of your time. If not, the only other way to see the show is via Patreon, right? We'll put it up on the Patreon. We will record it, okay? Like I say, because of the fact we have got some sort of special things happening on it, we'll record it, and yeah, there you go. There's the link. Sign up for Patreon. The goal conceded. And that's the only other way you'll get to see the show. Okay, so welcome, Matt. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, buddy. I'm feeling much better now. Thank you, much better indeed. As you see, I had a little bit of COVID this week. Not ideal. Geezer Dre, 2 more kids. No chance at all. We're not doing that. Darlington are currently second. You're right there. They are currently second, but there's a lot of football still to be played. I was going to say Nottingham's far away, but then someone mentioned people flying in. Yeah, it does put a lot of like, I can't, into like, well, you can though, can't you? It's now a choice. Oh, Hewlin off the bar. If you're not aware, by the way, with our York City team, we have got It's the land of the giants. Everyone is massive. O'Sullivan, Bradders wins another corner. And the biggest of them all, of course, is 6'9" Kyle Hudlin. Rich says, everyone else stop reading this. This is just for Tony. Right, now it's just me and you. We should really start planning the live show. We probably should start planning it. But what we already know that's going to happen is good enough anyway right now, right? So, yeah. Plans are for the uninspired. There, I said it. You know? Who needs plans? It's going to be fine. It's going to be good. We're going to go. We're going to have some podcasting. We're going to have some beer. Offside, I think. Offside. What you got at the gig made me tickle. Oh, mate. Dan, that was like ridiculous. Ridiculous. So angry. So angry about that. Again, for people who've not seen this, I did a gig on Friday last week. My first gig in nearly 3 years. Okay? And, you know, I just asked, you know, is there any chance we can get some water? Which is fairly standard fare for a comedy show, you know. Get a bit of water, keep yourself hydrated. And part of me thinks that maybe they've been listening into these streams, right? Because, chat, they brought me a bottle of sparkling water. Sparkling water, like for stage, like to they're using that, right? The idea of a bottle of water for stage, right, is to refresh yourself, to, you know, allow your vocal cords to be moistened up so that when you talk, you're hydrated, your vocal cords are lubricated. You don't give someone the driest drink you could possibly find. I mean, the fact that it's Tory water, I let slide, right? But it was more about the fact that this is clearly a stupid idea to give me dry water. Hudlin's off, Burrell's on. It's inevitable, isn't it? We still score goals. We still score. Look at it, like this. Look, that is water, right? That's water. There's no bubbles in it, nothing like that. But yeah, bloody sparkling water. So of course I went on stage and took the piss out of them. And then I did call it Tory water, Fraser. I did. Of course, the irony is that where I was performing is quite a Tory area in North Yorkshire, and so they understood what I meant because they just call it water. Oh, Brad offside. So I went on stage and I was saying, look, you know, I'm from the northeast. I'd be more than happy with just tap water, to be honest. So in the break, the venue organisers brought me just a jug of tap water and were like, is that fine for you? I was just like, that's more than fine, thank you. More than fine. So I made it up by having a ginger tea. It was lovely. Alec, how are you? Sorry, welcome in. I did see your saying hello just as I started talking there, so hope you're well. There's Burrell. Now it's 3. That's the 3 points in the bag. That's for you, Alec. Hope you're well. Lovely to see you. I'm very well, thank you now. I feel much better. Like I say, Monday took me by surprise, to be honest, when it turned out I was all COVID-y. I wasn't happy about that. I was like, oh shit. Tuesday, obviously when we're supposed to sort of like be streaming, Tuesday I felt like shit. I was in bed all day. Evening Don Pap, how are you? Isn't it Mr. Head Panel FM Playoffs? I'm glad I read the rest of that before reading it out. It is. It's the head of the FM Playoffs panel right here. The host. You can follow the FM Playoffs should you wish. You probably should, to be honest, because it's been fantastic. It's been fantastic. We've had a great time. We've done what's called the path to the playoffs the last couple of weeks. Rich, who's in the chat, Rich has been on it. He's been a panelist. Jebaru, of course, another one of our friends. He's been hosting some of it. And here's Llama. Llama's in. Llama was superb yesterday. So good as part of the panel. Gotta give my love to Llama, right? What a guy. Again, he doesn't tend to stream over here, but shout him out. And then, you know what? No, let's get his YouTube channel. You can have a proper link. I hope you're well anyway, Llama. Lovely to see you, buddy. As I say, cracking work last night. We may well have caught the old Rona from the gig, to be honest. That's a possibility. More likely, I've caught it from my kids at nursery. That's what is probably more likely. But you never know. You never know, right? Could be anything. Could be anything. Could have caught it from God knows where. But yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. COVID's getting a bit better, I think, Llama. Yeah, we're just saying there. I think I sound a little bit less croaky. I think I sound less croaky. But yeah, I feel like I've got a bit of energy today. I still feel a little bit warm, but not massively warm. Back for 3. Welcome. Hope you're well. How are you, the voice of England? Hey, mate, you know what? The voice of is croaky. But yeah, I appreciate you, buddy. Lovely to see you. It has been a while. Hope you're keeping well. We're slowly getting there. I'm keeping myself busy. This is the thing, isn't it? I'm keeping myself busy, right? And that's what's obviously leading to the whole croaky voice situation. So I'm getting into that whole, like, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes, sort of thing. That's where I am. You know, Pilgrim, coronavirus might be hereditary. I got my dose from my kids too. Yeah, I think. Well, the thing is, right. So what happened? What happened was, it was proper shit. Okay, so we the littlest one tested positive on Friday. So I'd done the gig. So he tested positive on Saturday. And it was the eldest one's birthday on the Sunday. So like the birthday party, I should say, sorry. And it was like, oh shit. So we had to cancel the birthday party. So, like, to be fair, bless the eldest, right? He's only 4, but he was awesome about it. We're like, look, we're gonna have to cancel your birthday party. Your brother's not well. He's not very, you know, we refer to it as nose tickly, so he's got to do a nose tickly. And he's got COVID. And the eldest one was like, okay, well, we'll just wait till he gets better. And I was like, how good is that? That's amazing behaviour. And then Monday I test positive. I'm just like, oh, not happy. But yeah, everyone else in the house, thankfully, the eldest and Mrs. J, they're both negative, so everything's good. The youngest one is now negative, so that's fine. And I should be negative tomorrow morning, I think. So hopefully, touch wood, we'll all be fine, and it'll be and it can be something that we can just continue. So, but yeah, that's dose number 2 for me. Dos. And yeah, not fun, really. I'll be honest, not really. Like the first time round, I was like, okay, cool. It's like just a bit. I just felt a bit head coldy, nothing major. I was like, okay, I think I've managed to get away with it here. But yeah, this time around, not so much. Day 1 floored me. So yeah, stay safe out there, everyone. It is still very much around, and it's it's just that thing in it. Like it's not going to go away for a long time. Just all you can do is try your best to keep as safe as you can, I suppose. Really, do what you can do. And yeah, unfortunately we got caught. So it's the latest variant, Dan. The latest variant, they're saying some of the symptoms are sickness and diarrhea. And again, all of us in the house, we've been ill for like 4 weeks. And to be fair, you talk to the eldest one, he's got this barking cough. He's had a barking cough for about 4 weeks. We've tested him for the last 4 weeks, and he's negative every single time. And if you were to put us all in a room, okay, and went, who here has COVID? You'd all point to the eldest one and go, that guy, it's him right there. It's fucking Coffee McCoffface, right? But yeah, no, not him at all. Not him at all. So there you go. It's one of those things, isn't it? Kyle Hudler's due a major upgrade for FM 23. I think he will. Lama, yeah. He's obviously currently playing for Huddersfield, who are playing right now, I believe. Do we know if Mr. Hewlin has managed to get himself on the score sheet? Don't know. I'm about to pull it up now, to be honest. It's 1-0 to Burnley. There you go. See, Burnley versus Huddersfield. Football's back. Football's back. The EFL's back. That's what it's all about. The EFL. None of this Premier League shite. EFL's back. Happy, happy days. Yes, Gouda, how are you, my man? Welcome to see you. Hope life's good. I mean, I would have said Elders Jameson. Yeah, exactly. Like, he's the one barking away with a cough, thinking like he's clearly got COVID, but yeah, apparently according to the tests, nope, not a thing. So yeah, it's interesting is what it is. So as I say, so that meant that we didn't stream Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, of course, I realised I'd tested. We then had the draft. There's Bradders through. Get in. So we did the draft on Monday for Path to the Playoffs. Myself, Lama, so was on the panel. The United City FM Kev, who is he is one of life's great people, as you know. Like we've done the FMT episode with him. Spent so much time with him recently, chatting about stuff, and of course doing the playoffs. And like the world is a better place to have Kev in it, right? And we had Stacey Summers as well, making her comms panel debut. She was excellent. She's very, very excitable. Very excitable. We knew that. We knew she'd be a bit of a live wire. But she did a good job. Monday was the draft. Did the draft on Monday. Very, very good fun. £300 million. Most divisions were in there. We had a lot of fun. And then Thursday, so last night, of course, was the actual tournament. So drama all round. Limo just destroyed the place. Absolutely destroyed it. JDFM did an absolute stunner as well. Great results from him. Sam Aggio had a bit. Sam Aggio struggled. Really struggled. Cozza Bob didn't have a particularly nice time. He was just struggling to get goals offside. Poor Shaughnessy, in the 8 games that he played, 7 defeats. And it was only the last game of the season he actually got himself a win. So, Gouda, I'm alright, plugging away, talking about my regional Premier League project and all the streams I go, wouldn't you know it? Did it here too? Of course you did, Gouda. Hope I'm feeling better, but hard to tell when you just soldier on. Exactly, that's the thing. Like, I've got this thing, right, okay, where I just, for some reason, I just keep going. Right? I've got no off button. Okay, no off button. When I sit down, and this infuriates Mrs. J. When I sit down, as soon as I sit down and get comfortable, I'm just like I can fall asleep straight away. She's like, "The fuck are you doing falling asleep at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon?" I'm like, "Yeah, I made the mistake of sitting down. Like, I should just keep going. Like, just because if I sit down, that's me done, completely done." Bumblebee, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you. Hope things are good. Pleasure as always to see you. Cozza Bob got gutted by the first 2 matches, had the highest XG in both of those, didn't manage to build the morale for the rest of the matches. Yeah, like he had, poor Cozza, man. He just had all the chances but just didn't score goals. And then had this really bizarre tactic of whenever he was chasing a goal, he had a really low line of attacking engagement, which I suppose in a sense makes sense if you want, to invite teams on and hit on the break, but the other teams just didn't fall for it. and then he started clicking a lot and panicking and yeah, it was just one of those nights for him, unfortunately. But that happens to anybody. It can happen to anybody in PvP. That's the beauty and the frustration of PvP. You can be great offline. And you can be great at PvP, but it's just so unforgiving. Like, you know, what happens one week might not necessarily happen the next week. So it's just what happens on the night, and that's all you need to do. You know, low line, more space while you combat. Not a silly plan. No, absolutely, Gavin, not a silly plan at all. But unfortunately, it also didn't work. So he could have potentially looked to take a few more risks. He could have tried to push the line a little bit higher. And you know, trying to close down a bit more, maybe force an error higher up the pitch. You know, it's easy for us to say back here, isn't it? You know, like, we're sat on the panels, hosting shows, in the chat. Like, we know how it works. You know, we know how to make those adjustments. When you're in that moment and you're sort of playing the team, you're keeping your chat going because you're trying to engage with your chat as well. You don't just want to sort of switch off and be like, right, sorry chat, I've just got to focus on this game for a second here. This is what makes PvP really difficult, is you're focusing on the match because you want to do well, but you're also having to keep your stream going because the whole point is you're meant to be entertaining. You're a streamer. Your whole thing is to keep your chat happy. It's a difficult balance. And we had Salty B in for his first ever competitive draft, and I think he did very well. He did very well indeed. He started a bit tricky. He had 2 defeats, and then he managed to get a couple of wins, which is, again, really, really important. If you lose a couple of games early doors in PvP, morale goes plummeting. And PvP is sometimes just known as morale manager, to be honest. But he did very well to pull that back around. And then he got to the final game, and he was still in with a shout of promotion to the playoffs, but just pipped by FM Girl. FM Girl smashed him on the final match, 3-0. It was 1-0. He started making so many changes and tweaks and pushing all the buttons. Because he was pushing all the buttons, too many instructions, players didn't know what to do. Alice just exploited. The next 2 highlights were goals. 3-0. All comes with experience. He'll come back stronger. Same as Bob. Come back stronger, to be honest. Boston are the best team of it. Yeah, Boston are a great side of this. Bolby. So they got to the final of the playoffs last season. Brackley, however, which is who we of course have come from, we got to the semi-finals last year in the playoffs. Look where they are now that we left. They still didn't get that takeover, I don't think, by the way. If anyone remembers, there was going under a takeover. Didn't happen. Still hasn't happened. You know, so that's the thing. We're into September, which would have still had that same board. So I think the decision to move and join York City was the right one. I think we've absolutely proven that was probably the right decision, to be honest. So what we got now? Cup against Redditch. I feel as though part of me thinks we should rest some players and look for the league, because the league is obviously going to have to be our bread and butter. But I also, actually, we play Boston. There you go. We need players fit for the Boston game. This is a huge start to the stream right now. So we probably do change a few players, don't we? We maybe don't. Maybe we rest Bradders. I think maybe go Longstaff up top, or Doofus. Yeah, let's go for Langstaff and Burrell. We'll rest Hewdlin. Actually, no, let's put Hewdlin up top. We'll put Burrell on as well. He's already got 5 goals. Right, there we go, yeah, Langstaff and Hewdlin up top. I mean, theoretically, should these players have enough to beat Redditch? Who knows? Who knows in this game, to be honest? Anything can happen. I might replace Ollie Dyson with Tom O'Sullivan, maybe. Let's do that. What's happening? Yes, Jimmy Boontown, how are you? We're currently York City. We are 5 seasons in. We haven't played all 5 seasons at York City, I must admit. Although we have played all 5 seasons in the Vanarama National North. So this is where we are. Only bad result in the FA Cup was a draw. We don't want an extra game. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point. Ronaldo not with the United team to face Atletico and Oslo. I think he's gone. Yeah, possibly. He wants to be released, doesn't he? He wants to go on a free, from what I can understand. Which, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Ronaldo's done a lot of things which make him a despicable human being, and quite frankly, United could do well to get shot of him. You know, start again, get rid of him. He's an awful person. So yeah, they probably should just do that. Get rid and things will be better. Maybe. But simplistic for me to say, isn't it? Really, really easy for me to say. Again, it's the whole, fans will ignore what they need to ignore in order to celebrate their football team, right? Let's try that. Let's put Cisse there. Yeah, that could work, couldn't it? Right, let's try it. Okay, we've got a mixture. We've got a mixture of first teamers and reserves in there. Agent was talking with people from Sporting. I mean, if he can go back there, that'll be interesting for him. Like, to be honest, like I think he'll end up going. I think he'll still. Will he play in the Premier League? Possibly. Thoughts on players rejecting moves to Chelsea? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Normally players go there because it's living in London. It's decent money. I don't know why players are rejecting. Who's openly rejected Chelsea though? That we know about. Who's the big names? Rafinha. I mean, Rafinha's always going to reject him and go to Barcelona. Is it Gabriel Jesus? I don't think Chelsea were ever really in for him, were they? I mean, they got Sterling, so Sterling's still a decent signing. Big Hudlin. Yeah, I was curious as to who Chelsea have missed out on. Again, I've not really been paying a lot of attention. Rafinha and Koundé. Well, they've gone to Barcelona. Like, it's not that they've rejected Chelsea. It's they've accepted a move to Barcelona. And it doesn't really matter what happens. Barcelona come, you go to Barcelona. Dembele and Lewandowski, yeah, all the players have gone to Barcelona. Arsenal looking at Werner. I can't see. Well, I mean, look, the thing is, that would make sense. Arsenal need to always buy some player from Chelsea, but it's only when they're 32. So I don't understand how they'd go and buy Werner. I can see Werner going back to Germany, to be honest. I think Gabriel Jesus is a great signing for Arsenal. I really do. I think that's a really, really good signing, and I think Zinchenko is a fantastic signing as well. Actually, Arsenal's done some fantastic business this year. Klanalona, yeah. I mean, it's crazy what they do. It's crazy what Barcelona do. It's crazy and it's fucking stupid at the same time. But as I say, irrespective of what happens, you know that if you've got a chance of playing 2 years at Barcelona, you take it. That's why Koundé's gone. That's why Rafinha's gone. How are Barcelona able to make those signings? No idea. I think it's from what I can understand, they've sold their future rights. This is how I understand it to be. They've sold their future rights for TV and stuff, and they've worked out that they're getting a guaranteed however many millions of pounds or whatever. And they went, right, we'll just spend that money now because we know that's coming in. And the issue that you've got there, also the reason that they're able to do that is because in Spain, clubs can negotiate their own TV deals, unlike in the UK where your TV deal is with is with Sky, and then you've got a separate TV deal with BT, and you've got a separate TV deal with BBC. But it's negotiated as a league, so everyone gets roughly the same amount, give or take. In Spain, each club is allowed to negotiate their own contract. So, of course, Barcelona and Real Madrid get a better deal because Sky wants to put Barcelona and Real Madrid on telly, or BT Sport, or whoever it is that owns the rights now. Poor Getafe, they're getting like 50 quid or whatever, because that's not going to be a thing. They'll get like the token 3 games or something they get all season as a kind of token gesture, but they're not going to be on TV every single week. Whereas Barcelona and AC Milan, Barcelona and Real Madrid, of course, they're going to be on TV every single week, so they get a bigger slice of the pie. And what they've done therefore then, at that point, is they've went, right, let's essentially raffle that off. Like, let's just sort of go, right, that is good enough. We know that we're going to get that money. We know that people are going to pay to see us. So let's sort of, presume that we'll still get that money going forward. And yeah, it's a weird way of doing it, because as you say there, the bubble's going to burst eventually. The bubble is going to burst eventually. And yeah, you just want to sit and wait when it does. But when it does, they'll just create the Space League or something. There'll be a way around it. I mean, like, this is why Barcelona have now got shirt sponsors. Like, it's no surprise Barcelona have now currently decided, let's get a sponsor deal with Spotify. Let's get a sponsor deal with Qatar Airways. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not gone on the days when they had no sponsor. So yeah, they're financially up shit creek. They know that, but they're gambling on the fact that, well, in the event that they win the Champions League, they're going to get some of that money back. So it sort of pays for itself, really. And kind of, you can see why they've done it. If I was in charge, I wouldn't be doing it personally. I'd probably have looked at how the club was ran previously and go, why did we pay £120 million for Dembele? Why do we pay £120 million for Coutinho, for example? The interesting thing as well with this, not just the fact that Barcelona have got no money and are trying to sign everyone and still potentially can't even register players. The biggest thing that I've seen is, and I read this the other day, is that obviously Bordeaux have been relegated because they've gone bust. There's talk, so Bordeaux now have to discuss with the French authorities as to whether they're going to go into Ligue 2 or even lower because they haven't got any money. Okay? Barcelona still owe Bordeaux nearly £7 million for the sale of Malcolm years ago. So the issue that Barcelona have got right now is essentially it can be fucking up other clubs all around the world. So it's not just Barcelona that have got no money. It's affecting other teams where they've taken players paying, in installments, and then just went, I can't afford that. Yeah, soz. Like, I know they've not paid everything for Coutinho. Would be surprised if they paid everything for Dembele. So this is all going to have a knock-on effect. Yes, Messi was a big issue at Barca. His wages inflated everyone. I guess Fraser, yeah, I can see that as a point. But as well, at the end of the day, I can also see the point of Barcelona with the biggest club in the world. And even though you're the biggest club in the world, you still have to pay players a lot of money to convince them to go there in a weird way. That makes no sense, obviously, because if you're the biggest club in the world, surely the players want to play for the club. Yes, they do. But they still want to be given a lot of money for that privilege. And I suppose, they can, because they'll deserve it. Like, they're playing at the top level. The problem is that they paid everybody the sort of wages that was the top level. And they bought a lot of players who weren't really good enough for the top level, but they just did it to either stop other teams having them or bought them because that's what they look like as the players at the right time. Like you said, yeah, Alex Song. Madness. Like, again, a good player, but not the best player at that time. And like having to sell, I think the writing was on the wall for Barcelona when they had to sell Yaya Toure. They couldn't afford to keep Yaya Toure. Man City were like, we'll just buy him. Like that was a team at the peak of their powers. Barcelona, the best team in the world. Yaya Toure, one of the best players in the world, went to Man City because Man City went, we'll have him, we'll pay for him. That's the time when you realise Barcelona didn't have the financial muscle to keep the best players at the club. Do you know what I mean? And here we are now. The interesting thing would be for Barcelona to just go, you know what, right, fine, we're not going to spend more money. We're just going to take it all in-house. We're going to use all of the prospects from La Masia and do things that way. Because their youth setup is probably good enough to bring players who, like Ansu Fati, you know, what's he called, Puig. Off the post. The corner crossbar, sorry. But they probably could do it, like just accept for a year or two that, you know, La Liga is about as competitive as the Premier League. Like they'll still get in the Champions League, even with a bunch of kids. Right? They won't win the Champions League, but they'll still finish in the top 4 easily. Like if they had just played younger players and signed players on loan, then they'd be able to, you know, wait for players' contracts to expire, move them off. Yeah, fine, take a hit on it, you know. But that's the way to do it, surely. I don't know, that's just my suggestion. Great ball over the top. Good save. Evening, Raggio. 13 months. How are you, my man? Appreciate the support, buddy. Genuinely. Absolutely wonderful scenes. Thank you, sir. I hope you're well. Pleasure to see you. You joined us as we were at a top of the table clash here against Boston United. Obviously, they've been running away with the league. Still 5 points clear. We've got to try and do something to you know, I'll take a draw here. I'm feeling much better, thank you, Roger. I must admit, I'm not 100%, but I am feeling much better, thank you. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, Monday was a bit sort of like, right, just rabbit in the headlights, adrenaline, get through it. Tuesday, felt shit, ended up in bed all day just to try and sleep it all off. Wednesday, no voice. Yesterday, again, adrenaline because it's playoffs, you've got to get through it. And today it's just like, you know what, I'm going to jump on stream for a wee bit. We'll have a chat. We'll see how long we go. If we go the full stream, great. Ball through for Bradders. Oh! If we get the full stream in, brilliant. If not, not a problem. We'll just said hello because we've obviously not seen each other for a week. So it's more. It was more just a case of checking in on everyone, to be honest, really. So hoping everyone's doing good. I'm glad you enjoyed the panel last night. Thank you, Raz. You were very kind. It was good fun. I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. The panel was really great. Really well balanced. Got some good people on there. Good experts. They know their stuff. Good header away by Kane. I'm wondering what we do in terms of change. We've got a couple of players retiring. Ollie Higgins is complacent. We don't really have any defenders who are more experienced than this 19-year-old, to be honest. I had a catch up with the VOD today. Excuse me, great watch and listen. Oh, brilliant. Oh, thank you, Raj. I'm glad you enjoyed it. As I say, it was it was so much fun. It's just nice to work with people who are good at what they do, you know. And you can tell that they're good at what they do as well. That's what makes it even better. Let's do that. I don't really want to have to. I don't want to have to move Kane out that DM, because I think that if we do that, we lose a bit more in the midfield. But I think if we have Langstaff here, we might be able to push in this gap where Taylor is. Well, Bradders isn't really having a great game. Let's see if we can get Doofus for Bradders. He can go up top. And was Carver sitting? Actually, no, it's not. I'll put Carver there. And I'll put Doofus on for McCloskey, because he's only come on recently. It's just fun chatting with Kev. I used to think he was a nice guy. I think he was a nice guy to me. Oh, like, Kev's the nicest man in the world, isn't he? Like, he puts everybody to shame. You're right. Like, Lama, you're an absolute gentleman, but yeah, compared to Kev, you're a rotter. Right, 0-0. I'll take 0-0. I'll take 0-0 against Boston. That's fine. Oh, we're fantastic. Stacey's brilliant. Lama's very insightful and funny, and Kev is the nicest chap. Yeah. Can't disagree with any of that, Raggio. To be honest, can't disagree with any of that. Ronaldo says he's going to play on Sunday. That's nice of him. Yeah, which local teams you play for? Imagine Kev picking up other people's litter when he's out and about. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he would do, wouldn't he? Like, Kev, like... You know when you say, like, oh, I'll do something, I'll go and drop something off, and you never do. Like, Kev does it. Kev actually does it. Like an FM Womble. Is that Dave Has a Party? There's Dave Has a Party. There we go. The FM 5-star potential podcasts. Dave Has a Party. On loan from Fleetwood. Let's get him on loan if we can do, because it'd be nice to get As a Party in. Have we got any sign of Jameson's yet? I don't think we have we? We kept having a look at this, and we don't think he's related to me. Kevin James, Newton Aycliffe, he's not too far from me. David Jameson, chairperson, maybe not. John Jameson at Notts County, maybe, we're not sure. Christopher Jameson at Sunderland, get the hydrates in. Yes, I will do. Jensen Jameson, 16 years old, from Nuneaton. I mean, he's 6'2", so let's find a bit more about him, shall we? Good leadership, apparently. Jameson Hogg. I genuinely don't think I've ever had a son in the club, to be honest. The United Womble FC. There you go. Rehydrate yourselves in the chat as well, by the way. Oh, here's something. Here's a question. Right. So, this weekend, the FMT One Season Wonder Challenge comes to an end, where we're currently playing as Aberdeen in the 92-93 database. And you know what? I'm going to say this right now. Actually, I'm going to say this right now. Aberdeen in the 92-93 database. My team is fucking amazing. It's so good. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, we didn't win the league, right? We didn't win the league, okay? But we finished third, okay? Which I'm more than happy with that one, okay? More than happy with that one. We had Sol Campbell on loan, which was wonderful. We got Alan Thompson on loan. We also got Derek McInnes Simon Grayson, we're going on loan. And the Piste de Resistance. Jimmy Floyd fucking Hasselbank. Up front for £1 million. No word of a lie. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank scored 20 goals in 8 games. He's a different level. Absolute different level. The man was just crushing it. Oh, I couldn't believe it. We had to sell Mixu Patalainen for £4 million. £4 million for Mixu Patalainen. And I was starting to panic. And I know, Raggio, I saw what you were doing with Scott Booth. He scored so many goals, right? Owen Jess scored loads of goals for me. I played him just behind the striker. He scored something like 25 goals. Duncan Shearer scored 25 goals. And as I say, Jimmy Hasselbank scored 20 goals in 8 games. Oh yeah, and I bought Vinnie Jones as well, because of course I did. So yeah, the team is crazy. Really, really crazy. So you've got if you want to do it, you've got like a day or something to get your scores in. You're probably not going to get it done in time. But next month's challenge. How do you think about this? Okay. So I played Scott Booth here. That's why I played Scott Booth, and I had him being the attack, because I had Owen Jess there. But yeah, Scott Booth was great, really, really great. Patalainen looked like a bit of an absolute powerhouse for me as well. But then, yeah, as I say, Arsenal came in for him, and I was like, well, £4 million, going to let him go to Arsenal. Then other teams came in, and he chose Bayern Munich, so off he went. And then for £1 million, I replaced him with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, which is just like exceptional business. But yeah, the plan for next month's challenge. Right. How does this feel? Right. Rather than doing a 1 month challenge, okay? Because it's summer, everyone's away, obviously. Next week is episode 98 of FMT, okay? Which means I'm no mathematician, right? But that's 8 weeks between now and FMT 100, okay? Which will be about the end of September. What do we think of a potential 2 month challenge where we pay tribute to old FMT? Myself and Matt Richards, we both started FMT with a Scandinavian challenge where we wanted to do the Triple Crown in Scandinavia: Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Who reckons they can win all 3 in 2 months? Is that possible? If we start with Odds Ball Club, possibly. We know Odds quite well. We know all the good players. We know all the young players. We've had Odds Battle Club on stream before. The club will, of course, be over the moon that we're going to be using that again. So we could do that. What are our thoughts? As we say, hello, welcome, Dave Goodger. Hope you're well. Now's a good time for you to join in it. What do we think? Is that a challenge, or is that just us being silly? Is it possible to get that amount of seasons done in 2 months? I mean, Goodger could probably do it. He'd probably do like 50 seasons or something. Like I've seen the United City FM. He's trying to do it. He's up to about season 42. So I don't know if it's going to be something that he's going to do. But yeah, do we think it's possible? Is it possible to win it in 2 months? I guess it depends how much you play the game, doesn't it? So if you fancy it, I propose we do that. Because, again, let's talk openly and honestly here. Participation and engagement within the monthly challenges, it has dipped a little bit because, sometimes the challenges aren't for people who just want to dip in and out. Like, the Charlotte challenge was brilliant, but unless you know about the MLS, you know about the expansion, you're probably not going to do it. Like, the Chinese challenge, Ice City, was great, but everyone got really frustrated with it really quickly. Canada. I loved Canada. I thought Canada was so much fun. Valor was amazing, right? But again, I understand people wouldn't want to do it because it's got salary caps and it's got rules and regulations. Burnley, everyone hated Burnley because it's Burnley. But yeah, just trying to think of something that's a little bit different. I mean, Don Pap, you're right. It all depends on how many seasons you play in 2 months. Well, how about we tier it? Right? How about we tier it? If in the 2 months you can win the league with Norway, you get 1 point. Yeah. If you can win the league in Sweden, you get 2 points. If you win the league in Denmark, you get 5 points because it's fucking impressive to have played all that in the space of 2 months. Does that work? We need to give some sort of incentive away as well, I reckon, to be honest, to do that, because that's a lot of graft for 2 months worth of playing. So maybe we give away some tickets to the live show, possibly. Difficult because not everyone can come to the live show. Give away some a Patreon benefit, I suppose. Maybe we could do that. T-shirt, FMT T-shirt, FMT T-shirt. Would that be enough incentive for people to get it done? Good, you're gonna get yours sorted out, by the way, buddy. So just to remind me to obviously do that. Do we have to do Norway, Sweden, Denmark? Yeah. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, because that would make it much more challenging to have it in a structured order as well, wouldn't it? So again, you've got to then win the league in Norway, then find a team in Sweden straight after it. Wald McColville, how are you, buddy? Welcome in. Pleasure to see you. Nice to see you. Appreciate your tweet the other day, by the way, about FMT. I'm trying to work out a nice way of retweeting that to say thank you. But mate, no, genuinely glad you're enjoying the podcast. It's a pleasure. Glad you're enjoying it. Nice to see you. Anyway, hope you're well. Oh, he's got to go. He's off. Look at that. Ball cleared. Oh, who's running the channel there? Nobody, apparently. Nobody. New t-shirt. Yes, Dave. Get a new t-shirt to go in addition with your FMT one, which will get delivered to you. So you'll have two. Well, you get two if you win, obviously, but if you don't, then just the one you've already subscribed to via Patreon. So, anyone know what the most western team in the UK is? Trying to do north, east, south, and west. Elgin, Norwich, Argyle. So the most western team in the UK would probably be someone in Wales. I'm guessing Welsh team, maybe. Look for a t-shirt as a prize. Nice. Dergview is possibly the answer. There you go. But Wald is already in with a cracking answer. Oh, UK, of course, would be Northern Ireland. Yes, of course. Sorry, my mistake. For some reason, I thought mainland. I only thought mainland. I didn't even consider. Apologies for that. That's terrible of me, isn't it? Fine, just won the Irish Cup today on FM. There you go. That's why you're straight there with Dergview, of course. I think obviously that's where you're from as well, isn't it? Only took me from November till the end of July to win a trophy. All right, fine. Rub it in, Wald. Rub it in. We're 5 years in the National League North here, and we still haven't been promoted. So, but it's not about win. It's not about winning around here. Not around here. Around here, it's just about hanging out, having a nice time, and avoiding trophies as if they were the coronavirus. So, try and keep our hands away from those sorts of things. Exactly, Dan. It's all about the narrative. That's what it is around here. Anybody can just win trophies. It's one of those things, isn't it? It takes much more skill to avoid trophies for many, many years. Especially if you get within touching distance of a trophy, let it slip. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Boston now unbeaten in 20 games. They are running away with that. Who knows how many people have touched that trophy and not used hand sanitizer? Exactly, Raggio. Exactly. I'm doing my bit. Right? Yay, here he is. Here's the mad scientist. How are you, my man? Welcome in. Big shout, of course, to the main man, the mad scientist, who, Mad, you've just missed. We've just been talking Aberdeen. You'll be very, very proud of me. You'll be very proud of me, brother, because I did it. I did the challenge. I finished it. I don't hate my life. I don't hate my life. In fact, actually, I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. Mrs. J, 16 months. Thank you, Mrs. J. Love Island's obviously finished. She's decided to log on now. appreciate the support from the wonderful Mrs. J. Yeah, Aberdeen, we've done it. Season's finished, right? We have a quite frankly ridiculous squad. We were just talking about just before you came in. We sold Mitsu Patalainen for £4 million. We replaced him with £1 million worth of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who scored 20 goals in 8 games. We've got Vinnie Jones. We've got Sol Campbell on loan. We've got Alan Thompson. We've got Simon Grayson. Brilliant team. We won one match 10-3. Seriously, 10-3. We're another match 7-0. Brilliant. Happy to hear it. Good job, mate. You set the challenge. I said I'd do it. And I did it. Raggio won the league. There you go. Raggio's won it. He's won the competition this month. FM'd in the cup. I'm still in the cup. I haven't played the cup yet. But yeah, I finished third in the division. Also, as well, by the way, if you've not been in all through the chat, the Mad Scientist is going to be flying into the UK in a couple of months as part of FMT Live. Not as part of it. He's coming to watch. He's coming to show his support by flying into the UK from Denmark to show his support and come and join us in Nottingham for what I think is going to be a lot of fun, to be honest. It's going to turn into basically an FM meetup, really. So live Football Manager therapy. Join myself and Rich Owens live in person with guests. I'm not telling you who, but you might want to be there. If you can't see it, if you can't get to Nottingham, if it's too far, then you need to remember the Mad Scientist is flying in from Denmark. So you need to rethink that argument about whether or not Nottingham's too far or not. Goal, 1-0, Burrell. But yes, it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to have you in. It's going to be great. We're going to have a cracking night. The show is scheduled for an hour, but we're taking over the pub. The show's upstairs. We're going to head downstairs and get into the bar and have some drinks and stuff, a bit of a social afterwards. I've already texted the promoter, who I later found out is currently on holiday in Peru. But I've already texted the promoter saying, look, if the show after us doesn't sell tickets and decides they're going to pull the show, let us know. We'll take the rest of the night and we'll just hole up there and we'll just do madness for a couple of hours. Like, that's what we'll do. We've all, hotels are getting booked. It's gonna be good. It's an FM meetup. I can't join you. But it depends upon where you are, Don Pat. Like, if you're like literally far away, like you're in the US or whatever, then yes, it's obviously difficult to do that. I suppose the only restrictions on it really would be, can you get to Nottingham? Are you over the age of 18 in order to get into a licensed venue? They're obviously the two main issues. That's what I'd say, the two main issues. great header from Burrell. Yeah, I must admit, Mad Scientist, when you told me about the challenge with Aberdeen, I was cursing you. But boy, I started to enjoy it. I did start to enjoy it. Mrs. J, will it be streamed live or just on Patreon? Jebbaru's busy working that out. We might stream it. We might stream it live. But it's definitely on Patreon. Definitely on Patreon. We might, if we can stream, we'll stream it. It's going to depend upon the Wi-Fi in the venue, to be honest. Because really, streaming-wise, we'd rather have stuff plugged in. Obviously, we streamed the weightlifting challenge at the gym. I don't know what that looked like. I never watched it back. I don't know whether it was jerky or whatever. But joke, there is a movement in weightlifting called a jerk, so that would have been really funny. I don't know what the Wi-Fi situation is going to be like with the venue, but if we can stream it, then possibly, we might well stream it. That could be quite good fun. Don Pap just saw the date. It might be doable. There we go. See, things have gone from can't do it to actually that's a possible. There's a t-shirt for it. There's a t-shirt slogan. Can't do that. Oh, maybe I could. Anyone who's tuned in with their ears at this point, this is the music they use on the 5 Star Potential podcast. That's what their little jingle is. Big shout, of course, for our friends at 5 Star. They're closing on 5 years. 5 years they've been doing that. Yes, I saw you got your tickets booked, Raggio. Very, very excited to meet you. Very much looking forward to seeing everyone in a real room. Crazy, isn't it? Everyone is going to wear name badges, though, to be honest. And it's going to be really bizarre that people will be like, "Oh, hello, I'm Raggio." I'm like, "Oh, I've been pronouncing that wrong all the time, haven't I?" That's what's going to happen here, Everyone's going to have to go into their pseudonyms. This is why I'm called Tony. It just makes it easier for me, so I don't have to remember my pseudonym. But yeah, it's very rare that you plug who's going to be at the show, who's not part of the show. But like we know that Mozza's coming. We know that RDF's coming. We know, of course, that the Mad Scientist is coming. So it's gonna be good, innit? It's gonna be good. So yeah, I don't know what we're going to do in an hour. I don't know how we're going to keep the podcast to an hour. You've seen the recent ones. The second hour with me taking over now, they're looking an hour and a half long. And that's without an audience. And you know what I'm like with an audience? I'll play up to them. Yeah, I think it's going to be all right. Very excited. Let's say we're so chuffed that people are buying tickets. Second yellow card was so funny. Was in fits the whole episode. Oh mate, right, like the plan for second yellow cards episode. And there was a slight plan, not a massive plan, I must admit, not a massive plan, but there was a slight plan. That plan went out of the window after about fucking 9 seconds of that podcast, didn't it? What a funny guy. He's so good. He's actually, and this is a spoiler by the way, right? But only because you're all nice, okay? There's a spoiler here. Second yellow card is on the panel for the next FM playoffs, the actual finals, right? Shh, don't tell anybody, keep it to yourselves, right? Okay. Literally just between us, okay? Nobody else, right? But yeah, like if it's anything like that episode of the podcast, it's going to be so good. It was so funny. Some of the stuff he was coming out with, I was just like, I'm going, I've got no idea where you've come with this. should have been a comedian. He's very quick. Yeah, well, he says he's like from a music background, so that's sort of makes sense. Again, if you've got like a performer element in you, it does make sense. But yeah, he's very quick, very, very quick-witted, very dry, and just again like with a good personality, so it comes from the right place. But yeah, a good guy, a really good guy. Absolute FMT Hall of Fame, I think. Did you like my idea for Babe Station football, essentially? Come up for people who've not listened to the episode, I come up with an idea where you should only have to pay for football after 15 minutes. So you get the first 15 minutes for free. And if it's not been entertaining, then everyone has to just go home and the match is declared void and just everyone leaves. But if it's good, you've enjoyed it, then you have to pay for it. We could have it discreetly billed to your account. That could work. We also suggested as well that football should be played for the full 90 minutes. Bradders is through. So if the ball goes out, stop the clock. Do it like NFL. Matches that last for like 9 hours or something. And then there's quite a lot of chat about Bears. Just as you would expect from a Football Manager based podcast. So, just the usual, really. Oh, great ball. Bradders. Goal against Merthyr. Lovely stuff. Great finish. Everyone's got to have their Twitch name and real name next to it. Yeah, but have the real name on their backs and then their Twitch name on the front. It'd be like the smallest version of TwitchCon ever. Well, but you know what's cool though? Like the cool thing is, of course, that these are like we're all people that have known each other now for. By the time November comes around, we'll have known each other for 2 years. Okay, so how cool is that? That we've all known each other in this chat, and then we'll be able to meet in person. We're like, fucking yeah, cool. Okay, that's what you look like. That's how you are. That's your name. Like, okay, cool. Let's have a pint. Let's have a chat. Let's have a catch up. Let's have a photograph. That sort of stuff. It'll be cool. Really, really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. Oh, good save. I was sort of a little bit nervous. When we said we'd do it, I was just like, oh, what happens if nobody comes? Like, it's going to be really awkward playing to like sort of 2 people and then like having to think about cancelling it, and it's just a bit embarrassing. But then things started like dropping through, and it was like, okay, cool, here's the thing, this is maybe happening now. Yeah, the more that tickets started to drop through, the more it was like, yeah, I think this is on. And yeah, can't wait now. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Randick on the front, Ralph on the back. Yeah, exactly. Dude, oh, what a goal. We need to get someone from SI at Nottingham. Hang on. We need to get someone from SI or from SI. We could do, actually. That's a great strike. By we, I mean you. Alright, so I've got to do it. Alright, okay. Right, I'll see what I can do. I reckon Koldov might come. What do you mean like a proper person? Like a big person from SI? You mean Miles, don't you? You want us to get Miles involved? Evening Ultra, how are you? Welcome in. Pleasure to see you. It's been a while. Partly my fault. Apologies for that. As to why we've not been around. Yeah, we're doing well now, thank you. I don't know if you we're about at the start of the week. Yeah, I had COVID again, so I had COVID this week, unfortunately. So it's been it's not been fun. So we've obviously taken a couple of days off. We took Tuesday and Wednesday off, but Ollie Higgins out leaving a nightclub. God's sake, Ollie Higgins! This is the third time he's been done this season. Look, mate, you're 6'2". You can't sneak out of a nightclub. Like, come on, Ollie Higgins. Pack it in, grow up. Getting back in the saddle with gigs was bound to take some time away. Well, this is the second time. Yeah, second time for me this time. Ultra. It's it was a bit of a shock. I was worse this time than I was with the first one, to be honest. The first one, I just had a bit of a stuffy cold, a bit of a head cold, but yeah, this one was. Yeah, I ended up in bed for a day and felt a bit crap. So, but I'm better now. I'm better. I think I'm better. I'm better. So it was probably been about. It's been what, about 4 months maybe, I think, since the last bout. This year, definitely. Maybe March time, I think. So yeah, I'd say about 4 months maybe. 3 or 4 months since I last had it. So not long. Turns out there's no such thing as long-term immunity. It's lies. You ain't got no long-term immunity. And I'm 3 jabs deep. So I don't know when I get my 4th. I don't know if I'm allowed a 4th now. Or, well, certainly not quickly anyway. I think they're on the over 70s for the 4th jab. But, yeah, so it's not fun. It's not fun. For Christ's sake, Ollie at least use the back door. Exactly! He's 19 years old around York, for fuck's sake. Like, people are going to recognise him, aren't they? But yeah, there he is, stumbling out of a nightclub. The thing is, like, I'm loath to do anything about it because we've not really got any other centre halves. So he can be an absolute toe rag all he likes, but sadly we can't replace him just yet. So, and I also don't want to because I think he'll be good. So, and I think he knows that. I've got a feeling he knows that now. You can start with Cult Love and then work our way up. Yeah, all right. Okay, good job. I see what you're doing here. Patrick Allman's still without a club, is he? Okay. I don't know if we can. I don't think we've got any wages left. Maybe we've got some wages left. James Carragher is without a club. We could probably try to get something on loan though, because then at least it's not going to cost us. I mean, my namesake John Jameson. Just got my domain sort of my FM blog. Yes, love that phrase. I love it. If you ping it to me, we'll obviously keep our eyes peeled on it and we'll post it out there. But definitely post it up in the promote yourself bit of the Discord as well. We can get Taylor Foran. Don't want to pay that money for him, but we can get Taylor Foran. That would be good, wouldn't it? That would be good. Let's see what Patrick Allman's saying though, shall we? Because again, if we've got a bit of money, if we've got some money, then maybe Allman might be better. Because again, he can play league football. What are we looking at? Are we overspending? So yeah, we may have to try and move some players off in order to potentially fund any move. If not, it's not a problem. Not a problem. So what's the blog going to be about then, Fraser? Is it going to be like? Is it your saves? Is it experiment ideas? Is it stories? Issue now with the wages. Okay, fine. If he's not going to get him, we're not going to get him. That's no problem. But at least he knows that we're interested. Going to be my save stories. Play a little like you, bad and stupid leagues. Love it, love it, love it indeed. Didn't you? You put a logo in as well, didn't you? Tonight. Let me have a quick look. Sorry, let me go back to that quickly. Yes, I prefer the second version. The second version of your logo is better. The FM Adventurer. Yeah, navy blue and orange, lovely colour scheme as well. Big fan, big fan. Good, just doing quite a bit of blogging as well at the minute, along with his multiple saves. What's everyone else's saves at the moment, by the way? Let me keep me up to date with where you are on your saves, because as you know, this is where we are, National League North. This is where we're going to be for a long time. Thing is, we've only got a 1 year contract at York as well, so we sacked off an incredibly secure job at Brackley. I thought, we'll come to York, that'll be fun, and it is fun. But they do expect promotion. Well, sorry, no, let me rephrase it. They expect the playoffs. We can get the playoffs. I think they really want promotion though, which is understandable. I had to tweak the logo slightly now, but going with this Championship Manager style big image background thing for the website. Nice. Yeah, ping me the link, man. Ping me the link, and I'll have a little look. You'll have to do it either via Whisper or do it via Discord or whatever. Because obviously we don't do links in the chat, do we? That's the problem. And that's only because other people have ruined it for everyone else. Before I got here, obviously, like just in general. It's like, don't. Oh, Dyson with an effort from distance. Not suggesting that all you lot are wrong uns, obviously, but you can never tell with new people. We don't know. Burrell Dyson out to King. Thought about it. Back for Dyson. Burrell and Bradders. 1-0. We take the lead against Warrington in the FA Cup. Loving this. There we go, look at that. Already got ourselves in the lead. Kind of like my OnlyFans in the chat anymore. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Sorry, Lava, my mistake. Yes, you absolutely can. Definitely get your Llama fans going on. I'm really starting to hate playing FM. Would you? What's gone wrong, man? Are you still at what are they called? It's in the tip of my tongue. The tip of my tongue. Don't. Scotland, worst team. He's still there. Oh, thinking about quitting for good. That's harsh, man. Like when you got to the you get to that point. For William, that's the one. Good ball at the top. Bradders is through. Oh. I'm playing a team in the German league at the moment. Oh, nice. The last 9 months I've had 10 to 15% shots on target ratio. Yeah, you've got bad strikers, man. You've got bad strikers. What's your are you on shoot on site? Are you shoot regularly? Because you need to look at that. I think have a look at the data hub. See what the data hub's saying. What's your tactic doing as well? Are you doing shoot on work the ball in the box? Have a look at what their look at all their attributes. It might be things like anticipation. It might be things like positioning. It might be things like oh, great finish. Top 5 team in the league. Are you getting more shots than you need then? So is it just wasting chances? What are the semi-pro and League 2 players? Maybe you're creating too many chances then. Yeah, wasting chances. Get some coaches in. Work on your finishing possibly. I don't know. I've not been in that situation before, to be honest. So I wouldn't really know what to suggest. All I'm sort of doing is probably suggesting what you've probably already done and gone through as what would be logical to go, well, maybe we'll work on our chance creation, maybe we'll work on our chance conversion. Maybe that's it. Maybe just set. If you're semi-pro, you probably can't do chance conversion training, can you? Slow the tempo, create better chances there. There's an option. Sorry, while that's been happening, Dan FM says he reckons he's going to come to FMT Live. There you go. Yes, Dan. Love that. Big thumbs up to you. Love it. He wants to play with a low tempo anyway. Maybe is it just bad luck? I know it's like a stupid metric that isn't really one that's on the data hub, but is it just bad luck? Bradders is through. Oh, I know it's obviously difficult for me to answer these questions while Bradders is busy doing this, but it's definitely worth looking at, isn't it? Do you play the ball low? Do you play the ball high? What's the I don't know. I'm just trying to think of anything that's. I'm just spitballing ideas out, going like, do you reckon this? Do you reckon that? I'm sure you've already done that. I'm sure you've done that for a long time. Go, why are we not scoring goals? But we've just beaten Warrington 3-1 in the FA Cup. Floated crosses for big strikers. Yeah, that could be it then. Because if they're challenging for the ball, you see. So if you're challenging for the ball, then they're maybe just not accurate enough, or maybe the defenses are marking those players well enough. You know, like maybe the accuracy of the cross isn't great. Like, well, what's your XG like? Is your XG? I hate asking that question. What's your XG like? Because again, if your XG is low, then your chance succession is low. Like, so you might be scoring and creating loads of chances, but if they're all sort of like, you know, headers from the edge of the box or headers from the penalty area or something, then you're not really guaranteed to get goals. But if it's balls at the back post, XG should be high because you should be putting those away. You need to issue rolls, paper bills and coins that say Bradders we trust. Now, Yeron, he is lethal, isn't he? A new cryptocurrency, the Rolt. Yeah, last team I was the only top 5 team to underscore my XG by about 5. Yeah, you've got an issue with your strikers, man. You've got a real issue with your strikers. Everyone else was outscoring. Yeah, you might need to look at that. Look at the type of chances you're creating. Good question. Why are you working the ball in the box if you've got big strikers? Yeah. Get the crosses in there. Get him on the end of it. So Bradders is doing his bit, and he's turned up. He's getting his goals here on. You've not sure how much of the you can accept rolls at the stadium in the gift shop. I'm not sure how much of the stream you've seen so far, but we started off against Evesham. So we won 3-1. Of course, Bradders scored. We then beat Lowestoft 4-0. We beat Redditch. Drew 0-0 against top of the table Boston, which was a good result, to be honest. We drew 0-0 with Alfredton, which wasn't as good a result. Then we beat Tamworth. We've beaten Merthyr. We've beaten Warrington, which means we're actually in the first round of the FA Cup. Yes, we've got in the FA Cup proper. I just thought, that's amazing. Oh, right. I think that's potentially us ticked a Story Hunter objective off. Look at that form. Who are you and what have you done with TJ? Geraint, I've got no idea. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? All this green. It looks fantastic. At this moment, the move to York was a good idea. We're still third, so we're still 7 points behind Boston. They've only lost 2 games. Lost 1 game, sorry. We've lost 2. We have dropped a couple of points in draws. We're trying to get Taylor Foreigner on, but it looks like we're going to miss out, sadly, because of wages and a monthly payment. But Patrick Almond is an option. I wonder what his wage demands are like, though. We are overpaying at £475, 2-year deal, £175,000. Look, you know what? I think we take it at this point. we take the lower. So let's try and bump it up, shall we? You have 175,000 if we don't go up. Nah, fuck it. That'll do. Patrick Almond. That could be a good sign. That could be a good sign. We're playing Dagenham and Redbridge in the FA Cup. First round. So we're playing against two teams. Hey-oh. I hate myself. 200 matches now. 200 matches. We need to. Geisley have put an offer in now. Do we move that up a smidge? Tell you what, let's give him a bit more money. Because we need him to. I think we need him really. If we've got defenders that are busy falling out of nightclubs, then we need to have someone who's going to come in and basically not do that. And hopefully, Patrick Almond has learned at Sunderland that's not what you do. Andy was at Darlington as well, so I think he was on loan at Darlington when we started at Brackley. He looked really good at that point, and that's sort of what put us onto him. So we shall see. But we're away to Farsley Celtic in this match now. We can see what we've got happening there. Defending deep here. 3 at the back, so we're going to be playing. We might want McCloskey possibly there. Try and create some additional movement in midfield. Higgins is tiring. See, this is the thing. This is why we need another defender in, because we don't really have one. I mean, we could play Cisse, I suppose. Put him in there. He is big, but he's slow. This thing, he's slow. Higgins is also slow, but he's better. It's just better. You know what I mean? That's the thing. And do we risk a change? Maybe. He's slightly more. He is fitter. I suppose we go with it. Or maybe we put Kassam in and we move. You know, Josh King's now a fullback. Ignore me. I'm just trying to talk my way through something as we before we hit go. Sam Beard's back, so maybe look for another option at left back. But I think for now, let's not change it too much because he's done a pretty good job so far. I think we just keep the side as it is right now. Go against Farsley Celtic, pretty much put in Discord with some good tacticians who might be able to help. Yeah, 100%, do that, Rajo. Like, ask for, like, this is what like we mentioned. This was mentioned on the Dupe episode of the podcast. Dupe said about the idea that if you know someone in the community, right, you like the look of, and you think, right, their content's pretty good, and you think that they would be a great fit for something that you're doing, and you would be like, hey, you know, like, I've got this idea, I think you'd be pretty good at it. Reach out to them. Ask them to collaborate on stuff. Go. There's so many good people right now who aren't collaborating, and collaborating is the best way to grow your own channels and stuff, and your own platforms. Get in touch with these people and say, look, this is my idea. Do you want to come, like, you know, what do you think? You know, are you interested in helping? Like, do you want to write something? Do you want to, like, do a video? The worst thing to say is no. You know, and if they say no, then that's cool. But, like, yes, at least ask them. Just ask them. There's some great people in the blogging community as well. Really great people. I'm a massive fan of FM Grasshopper and the Latte Quarterly. It's so well written. So well written. But yeah, definitely reach out, Rajo. There's some, even in our Discord, you know, there's some people in there who are great tacticians, who can write some interesting pieces. People who can just make up daft stories as well. So yeah, it's worth reaching out to people and having an ask. As I say, the worst thing to say is no. Okay, so we appear to be creating chances given the fact we're in that diamond. Oh, yes. Offside. Oh, it doesn't count. Doesn't count. How not? He's not even interfering with play. Nonsense. Josh King's giving the ball away. Doesn't matter. We're playing well. We're doing better. We're doing better. Right, keep going. We've created a lot of chances. Okay. Dyson's tiring though, so he might need to come off. Speaking of which, here comes Dyson. On the break. Play a smart ball. Play a smart ball. Smart ball, that's... We've kept the ball. The perv plays it down the line. Back. Where is it going? Oh, off the bar. King gets it away. Decent performance so far, to be honest. Can we turn that screw? Can we turn that screw? Burrell's starting to tire. Bradders is having a bit of an off match. Josh King's tiring, sadly. Burrell for Langstaff. Yeah, Burrell for Langstaff. You can always bring Carver on if needs be for Bradders. Put a new poacher on. In fact, let's do that now, actually. There you go. Change it on. Cisse heads it over the top. Oof. That's slipping down to 5th. Well, our 3rd draw of the season, maybe? Possibly even the 4th draw, maybe. Disappointing. We should have got the 3 points there. We played well enough to get the 3 points. Got to class that as 2 points dropped, I think. So got to rue that. Oh, sorry about that. Smack my microphone there. Got to rue that disallowed goal as well, to be honest. That wasn't. I don't think it should have been disallowed, personally, but not much you can do right now, is there? It's happened. Move on. I'm sure somewhere these things balance themselves out over the course of the season. So we shall see what happens. Bit of criticism coming Will Kane's way, which is quite interesting. Is it Will Kane? Yeah, Will Kane. Yeah, saying he's not really got a passing range, which maybe he hasn't, but I don't know. I still think he's a good player. Massive chance. Boston lost as well, did they? They did, yeah. Boston are on terrible form right now. They've lost to Alfred, they've lost to Hereford and Stalybridge. 3 defeats in a row. They don't. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond to that. Chester have obviously pulled themselves up. Darlow, they've lost 4 games, but they're not drawing. See, this is the thing. We've drawn 4 matches. This could be what it comes down to at this point. You know, the amount of games we're drawing, which, on the face of it, isn't the worst thing in the world. But yeah, it might be that thing. If we can't kill a game off, that could potentially be an issue. Bear in mind we're only in October though, so still a lot of football to be played. A lot of football, especially at this level. A lot of football. We'll put Sam Beard in. Put Ollie Higgins back. You know, let's put Cisse in. We'll rest Fox. So we are having to make some changes, which again is not It's not ideal. We do have to rotate because of obviously the way that the squads are set out around here. Let's put Hewlin in for Burrell. Put Doofus on the bench. Actually, let's put Doofus on the pitch. He can take over Dyson. No, he can go there. Right. Okay, that'll do. Let's try that. So Hewlin's on. Let's place a Burrell. Hopefully he can get us a goal. So York in red, Warrington in yellow. Obviously we've beaten Warrington recently to make it through to the first round of the FA Cup proper. It's quite an achievement for us, isn't it? As you can see, we're currently still 6 points behind Boston. FM Rage AFC, AVFC, welcome in. Appreciate the follow. Very kind welcome to the stream. Hope you well. Cut the highlight apparently. I think he's put in. Cisse heads it off the bar. Look at that. We're playing better. We just need to convert things. That's the thing. Okay, we also don't need to piss the entire team off. You're playing really well. No, we're not. You are. You're just unlucky at this point. Perv needs to be replaced, I think. I don't know who by though. Langstaff. Beard. Maybe move McCloskey back, possibly. Penalty, maybe? No? Oh, Hewlin gets in. Big header from the big man. At the near post. Sorry, I'm starting a bit snotty again now. Nice header. Let's there you go, let's do that. Doofus can go on there. Okay, so at the minute we've got a score for Boston. Boston are 0-0 with Merthyr. Heading over the top. Good effort from Clark there, to be honest. He's lost again to just out XG'd Schalke. Would you? It sounds like you're not having fun, mate. It sounds like you got to that point where the game's got in your head and you're now convinced that it's deliberately against you. We all get that. Don't worry. I think it's the what is it they call it? The luck modifier. People argue that that's definitely a thing, isn't it? Like if you keep playing, then obviously your luck stays in. If you turn it off, the machine then goes against you. Hewlin with another goal. Beard, great cross. Hewlin gets up. All 6'9" of them. That's a load of shite to look about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know you know it's a load of shite, but people talk about it, don't they? Cisse. Own goal. That'll do. 3-0. Oh, defender's got in the way of it. We're currently 4 points behind Boston because they're 0-0 still with Merthyr. Boston look like they're dropping it. Tactics and formations probably the problem, probably. And you know, that's a really easy thing for us to say. Yeah, probably. But I'm sure it'll take a little while for to get something sorted out. as to what, and it'll be something so simple. It'll be something so simple, and you'll change it, and all of a sudden you'll be flying away again. But yeah, that's just that's the joy of FM, isn't it? The joy and the frustration of FM. That's what we're now 10 games unbeaten now. Look at that. Buxton, then Chester, then Dagenham and Redbridge in the FA Cup. An actual FA Cup match. What about that, everyone? The first round of the FA Cup. We've never seen that. We've never seen that on this stream just yet. Would love to get Carson in. Knifeville. We did like Knifeville. Interesting thing is, Almond is going to come in though. So that means we've now got a tiny bit of rotation at centre half. Someone again who comes in with a bit of, I'm going to say, Premier League experience. He's got Premier League experience in the fact that he played for Sunderland. Right? He's then been on loan at Darlington, so he's also got National League North experience. So he kind of comes from the best of both worlds, really. Kyle Lancaster may be upset if he can't go to Telford. He can go. He can go to Telford. Fine. Away you going. Gouda, pick a beer for Beer Club. Yes, Gouda. Okay, so what happens there? So basically, in the Discord, Gouda, we've got a section called Beer Club. And what we used to do was every month we'd pick a beer. That was every week, wasn't it? I think it was meant to be every month, but it became every beer. Every week, sorry. We would pick a beer and we'd all try and drink the same beer. And we'd be like, that's a good one, that's not a good one, that sort of thing. But if you have a suggestion for us for something to look out for, then we're all ears. We're all ears. Obviously, it helps if we can get it in the UK. Will Kane's out for potentially 2 months. That could be a big blow. That could be a big blow. We've now got to think about how that's going to affect us. Badly is what I'm expecting. So I think we move Perver to DM. So the Perv goes to DM. McCloskey goes back there. What do we do? Do we put... Almond's going to go at centre back, so he's definitely not going to go. So it's definitely not going to be him. Right. Do we think about putting somebody... Hassle's not really up for it yet. Doofus, could Doofus go just behind? Maybe. Carver's striker. Kanawa, Terry Steer, Ollie Dyson. I'll tell you what, Dyson could go there, and then Matty Langstaff could go there, and that's probably going to cover us. Dyson, McCloskey goes to a ball winner. He's more for box to box, but if it was a box to box, that'll probably work, won't it? Yeah, that could definitely work. Does anybody have experience of Brazilian box formations? Not so much myself. I think Yaron, who's using in the chat, he's pretty good. He's pretty clued up tactically, so he could be someone who might know a bit more about Brazilian boxes than I do. I'm not sure if he is still in the chat. Might try that instead of a 4-1-2-2. I've got something that is like, so I sort of played something which was a almost like a Christmas tree formation, but it was boxy, and I like it. I really like it, but it's it needs playing around. Definitely needs playing around. So we played Buxton, who are 22nd at this point now. We need to make sure that we get the job done here. Turn up, get the points. We are away. Obviously, the fact we've got Kane out now for a couple of months, that's a massive issue. Or at least it could be a massive issue. Mackenzie Hunt. Oh, the one that got away. I think if we'd have got him, then maybe Brackley would have been promoted. Yeah, get some more hydrates on there. I googled for Norwegian beer, and the third result was something in Nottingham. Well, there you go. There you go. We get Anya around here. You can get that. Carrier and Mazzala should work quite nicely though. Just need a box to box and a cam. But again, it depends upon what your wing backs are doing, doesn't it? You need someone who's going to hold. You don't really seem like you got a holder there. Another Carrier would essentially sort of like move sideways, but you need someone who's just going to just sit like a proper DM. Yeah, Norwegian beers, like, I think it's like everything, isn't it? Like, if there's some good Norwegian beers, they'll sell well, and then if there's not good Norwegian beers, like you know, it's let's say the Anya stuff is pretty good. The Mikala stuff from Sweden is pretty nice as well. It's there you go, Almond Cab number 5. DLP in the hull. Okay, so again, so it's a playmaker. So if you've got anyone who's just gonna literally just tackle, because you've got a box to box midfielder and a cam, a Carrier and a Mez. So you've got 3 players there who are quite offensive. You maybe need like a ball winner, or just a DM. So you might need a DM and a Carrier together with a Mez and a cam. That could work, because then they're going to be your 2 attacking options in front of your 2 defensive options. I just think you maybe got just a little bit too much movement there. But again, I could be completely wrong. I think my 4-2-2 has I think it's a DM. I think it's a DM. I've got 2 cams in front. I think it's a DM and a ball winning midfielder, or a DM and a box to box. So I've got my defensive player, and then I've got my sort of energy. It's a penalty, is it? Oh, we've got a very dodgy penalty by all accounts there. The Real Ale Company, Pale Ale from Anya. That's the one. That's the one. Let's have a look for it. I know it's not pronounced Anya, but that's as close as my bastardized accent will sound it. Big Kyle, back post disallowed. Yeah, you need to link me in Discord or something, Gouda, or send me a whisper. I can pick it up that way. Nice little movement around. There's Langstaff. Beautiful finish. Lovely finish. Much better football. 2-0 now against Buxton. Because I found with 30 quid upwards. Yeah, that sounds about right, to be honest. To be honest, everything's getting to be almost as pricey as Norway over here at the minute, so energy prices in particular. Boston 0-0 with Gloucester. What's happened to Boston? They've just fallen off a cliff, haven't they? Boston absolutely in the mud right now. I bought a Belgian Abbey Ale on clearance 2 weeks ago. Very nice. 50 cents a bottle? Oof. It's nothing. Literally pennies. What a ball. What a goal. What a goal. That is absolute. That, right, that, for the people who've not been around for a while, that, total hooch ball. Total hooch ball. Lovely pass. We're going to bring Kyle Hoodlin off at this point as well. Replace him. So Carver's going up top as well. So both strikers have been rested now. Maybe do a resting someone in the midfield, maybe. Alman's just let that drop. Gilchrist through. Oof. It's just gone wide. Beard looks like he's struggling a smidge, but don't really have a left back. Dyson's on a yellow. McCloskey's starting to tire. The goal look a bit silly with the third. Yeah, I guess so. Right. Langstaff's got a hat trick. Gotta bring him off. There you go. Let him have the standing ovation. Pervert. Hoodlin. Oh, disallowed again. Disallowed again. Yeah, Boston have fucked it. Chester are 3-1 up against Lowestoft, so they've gone top now. And we're now 2 points behind Boston. You're right, that match the other day where we dropped the points, we would have been up there. We would have been up there now. What are Boston doing? Look at that, it's only Tony Jameson on my screen. Oh, hey, hello, Kev, how are you? Welcome to the United City FM. Everybody in the chat, if you're not following the United City FM, why not? Why not? Make it happen. Make it happen. Go and give the man a follow right now. Give the man a follow right now. He was superb for us on the FM playoffs this week. He was superb the week before in the path to the playoffs. He's been superb just in general, in life. He's one of the best people we've ever met. So, drop him a follow. Drop him a follow. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. He will enrich your life, so go and do that. Go and do that. Expensive Energy Experiment for poor Centric Attorney who posted a measly profit of 1.3 billion in the last 6 months. Yeah, fair point, actually. Fair point, Fraser. You must admit, yeah, I shouldn't really have said straight away that yes, the energy prices are difficult, but true, you're right, some people are struggling, namely the energy providers who as you say they are having to make doing just 1.3 billion pounds worth of profit in a short space of time as well. I feel sorry for them because they don't know what to do with that sort of money. Like, it's just, they never asked for it. You know, they're there. They're sort of going, well, you know, we've got it now. Like, now what do? We can't give it back. Like, so, yeah, you're right. There's not a lot they can do, is it? Really? Maybe you know, maybe if they didn't just estimate everything, then maybe it would be a thing. But I don't know. At the very least, they could buy a terrible football club and sign as a bonus. Oh, they did. It's called Chelsea. Ayo. How goes the hunt for a story? Oh, Kev, you're not going to believe this, mate. You're not going to believe this. We, after the Chester game, are about to play our first ever, for us anyway, FA Cup first round performance, our first round fixture. Look at this. Look at how York City's treating us. Look at all these greens and yellow. Good thing I got central heating, which has barely risen in price. Oh, would you? Like, you need to come to the UK, buddy. We are getting absolutely rinsed for energy bills around here, man. Like, there's talk of prices going up. Like, so January, they're suggesting January's gonna be £500 a month energy bill just for gas. Like, it's just madness. It's madness. So Danes who still have gas heated homes, yeah. But the thing with Danes is that they earn twice as much as we do. So you come here, we'd be well powered. We'd be as well powered in the house by simply burning £20 notes. If we could afford, if we could afford £20 notes, then yeah, we'd be doing that. It would actually be cheaper than gas, yeah. Yeah. The thing is though, like Scandinavia, their wages are so much higher than ours, and because they pay more tax. So, and plus their governments are better than ours as well. So there is that little caveat as well. Warehouse worker in the UK making £7.50 an hour. I think they are actually. I think that is the. I might be wrong, but is that not the minimum wage or the living wage? I think it is that actually. I don't think it's £10 an hour yet for a warehouse job. Someone might be able to correct me in the chat. Someone could, if you know what's the minimum wage, and then what's the living wage? Because that's the thing. See, what we did in the UK was we made sure that our lowest paid workers were really getting fucked over, and then we said that the lowest wage actually was pretty shit, and we make a wage that you need to top up to be able to live on. So the minimum wage is lower than the living wage. £9.50 for the living wage. There you go. That's it. There you go. So yeah, so we're there or thereabouts. And it's less if you're under 25. Yeah, thank you for that, Jack. Thank you. Welcome in, by the way, to the stream. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I figured it, because they split it, don't they? So it's two different wages again. Because again, if you're under 25, then you don't need to go throwing money around like £9.50 an hour, living like you're fucking, Jay-Z. If you're over 25, then you need to pay for gas. So yeah, we have to up your wages. If you're under 25, you can just spend your money wherever you want. Mobile phone top-up cards, don't know. Burning £20 notes is probably a financially astute idea nowadays. I think so. I think this is why they've made them that sort of plastic thing, innit? So you can't burn them now, because they're going to try and burn the money, aren't they? Let's not do that. Also, as well, when the polar ice caps melt and the country floods and we're all underwater, then again the plastic money will probably be safe, although it will be in the water streams, therefore will ruin the oceans again, I suppose. How's your Friday going? How's the stream, Tony? Well, we talked about how basically we talked about how everything's just a bit shit, and the inevitable rising of the polar ice caps, and which will then, of course, sink the British Isles eventually. Yes, Owen, how are you, buddy? Oh, he's hit the post. How are you, my man? Welcome in. Pleasure to see you. Hope that's treating you good. Big shout, of course, for Owen. Make sure you drop the man a follow as well, please. We're debating living wages and national wages, Owen. Energy prices. The melting of the polar ice caps. You know what I mean? Like all these entertaining conversations that we have. British Isles sinking. Brexit means Brexit. Yeah. Brexit was a fucking stupid idea. Well, It was only a stupid idea for the people who thought that it was a good idea. But you're right, Jackie. Yeah, sinking the British Isles doesn't sound like a bad idea at all. Yeah. Yeah. Get me off this fucking plague-filled rock. We're debating how to save the world in a sense. Can't complain. It's a holiday weekend here. Hey, there you go. There you go. It's not all bad, is it? It's not all bad. What have you got planned for holiday weekend? Guinnesses are plenty, I hope. I hope so. I hope there's many Guinnesses being drank. And if there's not, I want to know why. You should really be drinking all the Guinness. Every single Guinness should be drank. This is let's do that. There we go. A slight change. Shout out to the two Welsh ladies holding up the EU passport queue in Amsterdam, claiming it was all ridiculous and this wasn't the Brexit they voted for. It's interesting, isn't it, that all these Brexit people think this isn't the Brexit they voted for, but it's almost like they didn't read what they were voting for. People wanted Brexit, but like in the ceremonial sense. The thing is, would you, right? And this is, never listen to what the people want. never listen to what the people want. The people don't fucking know, right? The people, right? The people all go and watch The Avengers. Is that the best movie of all time? No, it's not. The people don't watch Dead Man's Shoes. Dead Man's Shoes is on like a 11:45 on a Tuesday on Film 4. I've already used this analogy once today. Totally chatting out here like a Lazio fan. Or a Tory. Now, Rowan. Now. So Chester dropped points there. Of course, Chester dropped points yet against us. So 0-0. Right, 0-0. So yeah, good point, MJ Roper. Yeah. At least our passports are now blue. Yeah, because those stupid red ones just looked ridiculous, didn't they? Those stupid red ones that allowed us to go anywhere. We need those blue ones to stop us going places. That's what we need. You mean who wears the dead man's shoes? People got lied to by politicians about Brexit, didn't bother to find out what it meant. Yeah, exactly. It just, all it did was it played on people's inbuilt. I'm gonna say it played on racism, right? It played on racism a lot, and sadly, Britain is a small-minded idea full of small people who think that they are better than they are. The delusion, they still hang on to this idea of a British Empire. People who've never experienced a British Empire hang on to the idea of a British Empire. And it's very much the small man who has a couple of pints and starts a fight. That's Britain. And Britain then gets his head kicked in. That's Britain. And for some reason, they're just, Britain's a good laugh, innit? Britain's a good laugh. No, Britain's a fucking idiot, is what Britain is. And then you've went and asked people to go, what do you think is better? And then they've went, we don't know. And then they went, would you, how about we save you loads of money in the NHS? They went, brilliant, yeah, that's a good idea, yeah, we'll do it. How about we get rid of foreigners? Great, let's do that, fantastic. How's about we let you travel everywhere because we reckon that's probably what's going to work? That's fine, yeah, lovely. Is this going to cost us any more money? No, you'll be better off. Oh, yeah, let's do that then. Of course it's not true. Nobody knew that was going to be true at all. Because at the end of the day, you're having to listen to the Tory government, and they've never told the truth ever. You don't want to be taking advice from them and go, I'll tell you who else knows. Nigel Farage, he knows. Tell me he doesn't. Britain or England. I'm English, but I'll be honest, I'm proportionally probably the worst of the bunch. Oh yeah, English is the worst. English is the worst. The Scots, they went, we're not voting for it because we think that we want to stay in the EU. And then England went, you're out because we voted out. And it's like, that's not quite how it works, right? Evening, morning, Matty. How are you, buddy? Welsh gave us a run for our money. Yeah. People listen to Coldplay and vote for the Nazis. You can't trust people. Exactly, Jack. This is the thing. I mean, who the hell gives the people a say? You know what I mean? The people have never proven that their opinions should be listened to. Oh, Matty, I've just got you coming through on YouTube. Thank you, mate. Glad you enjoyed the podcast. It's been a fun few episodes to do, to be honest. Dyson, what a ball that is for Bradders. Oh, you got Scottish grandparents. Doesn't mean I can later be Scottish. Yes, it does, Rajo, because that's exactly what I do. My Scottish heritage is from my grandparents' side, so, and lots and lots of cousins and aunts and uncles. So, yeah, that's where my Scottish nationalism comes from. If you're any good at football, they'd be glad to have you. Even if you're not good at football, we'd be glad to have you. To be honest, sometimes it's just we'll take you to make the numbers up. To be honest, your rolls have skyrocketed. Get your rolls. I tell you what, if we were paying rolls are basically worth more than gas and oil at this point you're on. Again, Fraser, you don't even need to know what football is. Like, you know, to be fair, we accepted Nigel Quasi to play for the Scottish national team. So, do you know what I mean? Ability, non-existent. Hugh Linda Bradders, the big man and the little man strike again. 2-0. And are we going at the second round of the FA Cup? Are we going at the second round of the FA Cup? I mean, this has been a great move. Oliver Burney's got Scotland caps. The bar is exactly. I don't worry about the price of gas anymore. I'm rolling in rolls. Yeah, exactly. Yeron. You invested when he was cheap, right? Oh, nice header from Jimmy Knowles. You bought into Rolls when he was at Peterborough. There's the shirt. There's the Bradders shirt. We knew last year we had a player. At Brackley, he tore everyone apart. We're like, right, gets to York, we have to take Bradders. Brought Bradders in, and the Rolt has taken off. More. Get your Rolts off. Honey. He's too good. He's too good for this division. He's far too good. Poor Woodger. Woodger's just having the worst night. Woodger, what's wrong, buddy? Talk to us. I feel bad for you, man. I don't know how to continue like this. We've all been there. That's the problem is that we've all been there. We know where you're at. We know exactly where you're at. So let's take let's take Josh King off, actually. I can't rescue the game. I can't use any resource within the game to figure out the issue. Is it time just for a complete change of tactic? I dominate all the teams with all the match stats. Is it time for just a complete change of tactic? Is it maybe that? Like if you're playing slow build-up play with big, strong strikers, maybe you need to play a bit more high tempo and move the ball quicker, get the ball in the channels, whip the ball in the box, rather than floats and whip the crosses. You know, I know I think the match engine probably thinks that floated crosses for a bigger striker is better, but I like to use whip crosses personally, rightly or wrongly. But players can't use the channels, they just simply won't. What a win, what a win. No through balls. It's a bit of a noodle scratcher, would you? Absolute noodle scratcher. Don't know what to suggest. FA Cup win. FA Cup win. So that's a few extra quid in the coffers. Another hat trick for Bradders. That now takes him up to 8 goals in the league. That's 14 goals in 19 games. 8 in 16, apparently. 23 goals in the league last season, 16 the season before, 22 the season before, 22 the season before that. Yeah, you want to be... If you didn't invest in Rolts, then you can't afford to invest them now. It's just gone too much. It's gone too much. 50 best players in the world. Bradley Rolt surely must be on that list. Surely. Why is his name not there? You know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter why his name's not there. Because if his name's not there, then people aren't going to start coming around being like, oh yeah, let's get him in. Let's not bother extra time. Let's just go straight to penalties in the FA Trophy against Merthyr. Second round of the FA Cup, we played Newport. They're National League, so they are a position, a league above us. We're at home, so that might be a few extra quid again. I mean, we're not massively in trouble. 120,000 in the red. I know it's not great to be like, that's fine. We're only in the red for a little bit. Like, what was the 23 grand for winning that match, so that's reasonable. Just going kamikaze. Mate, sometimes that's the way. Just go for it. Dial it all up and then slowly start dialing stuff back and work out what works. So we're away to Stalybridge Celtic and then Mickleover. We are 3 points behind Chester, 2 behind Boston. Brackley have lost again. Go full crunching tackles at insane speed. Do it. Do murder ball. Do full on murder ball. Just be like, right, this is how we're doing it. Get out and start more games, that's fine. This is what's going to happen on it. People are now going to be wanting to be getting in and involved in this sort of stuff, because it's like, oh, why are we not playing in the team that's playing really well? Well, because the team's playing well, that's why you're not in it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we've got to think about. Remember when we weren't playing well? You were playing. Now you're not playing, and we're doing well. So there's a reason. I don't need to be the guy who has to spell it out, right? Well, okay. Come on then, Arthur. Get yourself on there. Get yourself on the bench. Will Kane still out for another 3 weeks, possibly. Alcohol Byra still not fully fit. Higgins is back, I suppose. Everyone's green. That's what we want, innit? Everyone's green. We are going with the diamond, but maybe we should have gone with a flat midfield away against Stalybridge, but we'll see. We'll see what Langstaff can do. We might be able to rejig the pack somehow to pull Langstaff back in. Maybe we go Langstaff out wide, Dyson out wide, and we put McCloskey in there and we go with a 4-4-2 possibly. So Pervert Fox has scored. Yes. Any interesting guests coming up on the pod? Yes, Matty. I'll tell you what, I can tell you this right now. So tomorrow night we're recording with Mozza. So we're going to do a bit of a recap from the FM playoffs, and then we're going to talk about what's going ahead of the FM playoffs. We'll talk about his work with Broom Hill as well. So he's going to be a good guest to have on. So very much looking forward to that. And next week is actually a double episode, because on Monday we are interviewing Holly Plays. Well, interviewing Holly Percival on Monday. She's going to the Women's Euros final on Sunday, so we couldn't record on Sunday, but we're going to talk women's football on Wednesday night. Yes, Patrick Allman with a great goal. We're going to do an interview with Holly on Monday, which I'm hoping to get on Tuesday as well. It might end up being on Wednesday, but that's going to be great as well. We'll talk women's football. We'll talk Villa with her as well. We'll let her talk about Villa, talk about Stream, and talk about the Streamer Showdown. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, to be honest. I think we're really heading in a good direction. United City, yeah, Kev, thank you very much, man. We're on fire at the minute. We feel like we're in a good spot, to be honest. It's like we just, I think we've hit our floor, and things just seem to be running nicely. So it's we're only as good as the guests we get on, and we get fantastic guests, and the guests are coming on because we're doing a good job on the show. So it all works out nicely, to be honest. So yeah, we're very, very excited. We've got a couple more guests planned for the next few weeks as well. Huge guest for episode 100. We mentioned this in the Discord the other week, and said I need to start thinking of a guest for episode 100, and we've got one. We've got him booked in. Him. It is a him. There you go. That's the only thing you'll hear. So yes, guest 100 is booked. Oh, wow, nice one. A few good guests coming up. Wish I kept streaming the episode where you guys were talking about stream versus YouTube. Made a lot of sense. I tried to do both and ended up giving up on both. And that was Kev. That was United City was talking that. Man talks a lot of sense. He knows exactly what we're talking about, and it is that thing, isn't it? You can't do both. You need to be able to give one the attention, and if you can't, then you've got to work out which one's more you, I suppose, to be honest. Yeah, Kev's a very astute man. Worked it out before a lot of us did, to be honest. Promised to strike out strengthen up front. I did. I signed 2 more strikers as well. Since he signed last with 3, it doesn't count. I was more suited to Twitch. Oh, mate, yeah, join the club. Join the club, mate. Here's Carver. He's put it wide. Still 2-0 though. We'll take a 2-0 win. It actually puts us top because Chester are losing to Alfreton. Oh. Have we done it? Have we on top of the table? Yes. Also, Boston have drawn as well with Darlow. Chester lost. Look at that. 3 teams on 38 points. Oh. We've pulled this around, haven't we? So much happy having made the choice to focus on what I really enjoy. You know what, Kevin? That's the thing. I think when you said that about what you really enjoyed and what your purpose was and your focus was, and saying that your YouTube content was never going to be enough, that just resonated, not just with me, but there were so many people, I think, who've looked at other projects, whether it's content creation, whether it's YouTube, whether it's podcasting, whether it's plans to play the guitar, or writing or art or whatever. They've obviously looked at that, and I think people really took that to heart and reflected on it and sort of went, you know what? Yeah, like I'm just doing this because I feel like I have to. I need to just knuckle down. What do I actually want to do? What do I want to do? And make sure that what you do want to do is what you want to do, and then give your all to it. Definitely have to say, after listening to the more recent pods, you've definitely got more Football Manager material if you ever decide to go back to stand-up. Yeah, I appreciate that, Matty. We're thinking about a 10-year Football Manager Ruined My Life anniversary tour, I suppose. So I sort of touched base with the tour agents about a month ago now, and then in true mental health fashion, have not contacted them again. So I need to go back and be like, yeah, so you know when I initially said hello, I need to follow this one up really. So we'll have a conversation, we'll see what's happening. But yeah, I think there's maybe an idea. I think we're not there yet as to, I don't think the story's been fully told, is how myself and Mrs. J discussed it the other day. We were like, so I say the other day, like, a while ago. We were like, right, is it worth going back? Do we go and do another tour? What's the situation? And yeah, ultimately the question is, is the story fully told? And I don't think it is yet. I don't think it is. I think there's definitely going to be a few more twists and turns in my life with Football Manager. I mean, we've got all this to talk about. We've got odds to talk about. Like we never mentioned that on the last tour. So yeah, I guess we probably need to go back and talk about this. The Fringe, we probably won't do the Fringe, would you? And that's purely because of the fact that I have a family, so I can't really go with a lot of. Jack, appreciate the sub, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Very kind. Appreciate the support, brother. Yeah, for all of us to get accommodation. I mean, even for a single person, for the accommodation costs are ridiculous. But to go up and take Mrs. J and the two boys would just be like, it just wouldn't be worth our while doing it. So we'll probably not bother with the Fringe, and we'll just go straight to tour, because the show manages to sell on its own, which is sort of the bonus really. But it won't be for another 18 months probably. I'll need time to write it, I'll need to rehearse it, I'll need to get the venues booked in, and they book up seasons in advance. So, a conversation now with a venue. What are we? July 2022. They're probably looking at maybe their November 2023 dates right now, because they're also waiting for what comes out of the Fringe this year. There's the stuff they've got to have for tour. So we're probably not looking at any dates before 2024 as a penalty. We're probably not looking at any dates for 2024, which is good. So again, yeah, it gives us plenty of time to think about it, to rehearse it, to write it, and to try and sell it. So yeah, we'll see what's the best place to practice. Yeah, I guess here's the thing, like, I mean, we've got, like, I did a stand-up show on Friday. I went back and hosted a gig for the first time in almost 3 years. It was the first time back on stage in almost 3 years. And yeah, I think I got away with it. It was fun. Could not remember any of my materials. So it was good that we managed to just we were hosting. We could sort of make it as we were going along. I would love to do Melbourne. Matt. I've got mates who go out and do Melbourne. I've got mates who do Adelaide, New Zealand. I've got family over there as well. Sonny Leon, is this still the Indonesian save? Wow, welcome back. It's been a while, hasn't it? So this isn't the Indonesian save, unfortunately. The Indonesian save kind of hit a bit of a brick wall in the fact that we didn't think we could build a nation. So we sort of like thought a little bit about what we would do and try and find a new save, and we've come back to the UK, and we are doing essentially a journeyman, but we're starting unemployed. We're in the National League North. We have no badges, we have no experience, we had no club. we got the job at Brackley, which was good, to be honest. We were there for 4 years, and we weren't really expected to piss off the locals. I pissed off several of the locals, yeah. I don't think they like me very much over there. But yeah, we did as best we could there, and it was good. It was good. But we've come here now with no badges, no experience, no club. We were there for Brackley for 4 years. We got to the semi-finals of the playoffs last season, and we lost. We weren't expected to be in that position, but the ball were then going over into a takeover, which didn't look like it was going to go particularly well. In fact, I don't even think it's still gone through now. The York City job became available. It is still in the same division, but we thought, you know what, it's a better club to go for. They're professional, more money. Let's go for that. And yes, we've taken over the York City job. Typical Brit pissing off the locals. I mean, to be fair, that wasn't my intention, to be honest. My intention wasn't to piss off the locals. I enjoyed it. I think I'll definitely go back. I've still got the save file, to be honest. I still jump in from time to time, and it was Slemon was sort of where was the whole point of the save. That was meant to be trying to get as far as I can with Slemon. Pasita, I was so bad at Pasita. There was the wrong fit. They sacked me, and then we actually won the league with PSIS, and we won the Confeds Cup. And you know what? I still love it. I still love it. There's only a handful of nations we can get unemployed. I don't know. I think you can go for most, but I think it's like it depends upon the actual league itself. Like, say for example, you're doing South Africa, you probably can't do unemployed because you're going to end up having to start in South African Division 2 if you've got to turn on, of course. Yeah, it depends upon what your lowest level is, really, and sort of how you're setting yourselves up. But I think for us, National League North, this is kind of more how I play. Like I loved Indonesia, but I think that the actual streaming of the save, because we romped the league the year that we won it, we smashed everybody, and it was actually it almost became a little bit like, oh, this isn't really as fun, to be honest. Like watching us win loads of stuff, and we didn't know really where to go next. So we sort of thought, you know what, maybe let's just have a bit of a think of it, and we'll come back and we'll see where we are. So yeah, we had a bit of run around, tried a few other things. Nothing really happened, and we've come here now to the Vanarama, and to be fair, it's looking pretty decent, really. So we've got this game now against Gateshead. Then we've got FA Trophy second round against Merthyr, and Newport County in the second round of the FA Cup. Part of me's thinking, we call it there. I think we've done pretty decent tonight. We jumped from Evesham to Mickleover. That's not a bad run. Ultimately, we've ended up top of the table. That's not a bad run. Like, I think we've done okay. It's been nice. We've obviously had a week's worth of COVID, so it's nice just to get back and chat to people and see how everyone is. So let's have a little look, see who's around. We can go and send some love people's way. I think who's in and around. Oh, there you go. Jebaru's on. Right, we're going to go and hang out with Jebaru. Okay, so we'll send you his way before he tries to raid off over here. Go and send him some love. Make sure you jump in. Give him a follow. And yeah, we might well be back on Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled. Might be doing some editing. But yeah, jump in. We'll do it. Okay? Right. Go give some love to Jebaru. Take care. See you guys in a bit. All the best. Bye now.
That's what we did. That was our business. Tony Jameson raiding in. Cheers, Tony. Thank you very much. We get the full lights are working now. Look, see, look, I'll even turn off that one so it just goes really dark. Right, welcome in, Tony. Hope you're well. From Raiders, we'll obviously do our shout outs. Press the button. Look, there we are. We're going to shout out. I can't shout out Tony because he's not there, but I'm going to shout out Mal anyway. He is there, obviously. Everyone can see him. We're going to shout out Mal because he sat there. He's been here for a while. Just stream. Wonderful evening streams late night. We're here. We're heading for the thingy. Hey, Matt. Aww.